Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we're going to be taking a look through my collection of early Penguin catalogues and Penguin's Progress booklets that were published, well, from the late 1930s up to the late 1960s. I've got quite a bit to get through, so I won't hang around. So this is one of my earliest catalogues, and it is a really comprehensive one. Dated 1946 and May, in fact. This has got loads of, but it's almost, I guess, a complete catalogue of everything that was published up to that point. And pretty scarce, this one. There's a few that have been marked off there by the previous owner. Look at this. This is quite a rarity, this one. Mine's not in the greatest of condition, but considering its age and how many would have actually survived, it's quite a nice little item, that one. It's interesting that it's got Penguins overseas companies there. They're distributors overseas. So then we've got this little one, which is 10 years of Penguin. Now, we won't look at them all, but some of these do warrant looking at inside. Most of these little booklets are quite unique, and they are the size of a paperback. I guess they would have been given away, actually some of them in bookshops, some of them in the post. Usually they've got unique illustrations on, which are really good. I've come across these with like little letters in and things like that. And this was one which was published in celebration of 10 years of Penguin books, so 1935 to 1945. There is an earlier one. I think it's called 100 Not Out, but it's a little look at the first 100 penguins. But sadly, there's a few of these that I am missing, and when they keep turning up in catalogues, I just don't get the luck to get them. But I do love early catalogues, I really do. Here's another Penguin's Progress. I think this is the first one. This is July 1946. I'm trying to do these roughly in order, and this would be a sort of similar thing to what Pan were doing later on with the Pan record, and that's sort of highlighting new titles that were coming out. It's just a sort of a promotional booklet to highlight the new Penguins. There's the 10 Bernard Shaws that came out. So if you are a Penguin collector, this is, just brilliant. I love looking through these. And as I was amassing my Penguin collection of books, it was always fascinating to look through this sort of stuff. I've never got bored of it. And they're so colourful to look at as well. They're fantastic. And we'll do a couple more of these then. So this is the next issue of Penguin's Progress, and the designs are unique as we go along. But the contents, obviously it varies, based on what was being published at that time. But they do sort of follow a similar format. They're full of stuff that this is what I like, seeing a penguin tucked up in bed reading a book. That's the sort of stuff that these do so well at, because they were sort of unique. You didn't really see those in the books, but it was a little play on the publisher's logo, as it were, This next one's very nice because it's a similar thing inside, but what's good about this one is it actually has the original mailing envelope. So to William Seller, Esquire, over in Northern Ireland, 1p paid. And it's interesting that it's got the Penguin Progress logo along the top, and it says, "If undelivered, please return to the Vals Press, Thrapston near Kettering." I guess they were the printers. Cool stuff, eh? Now, let's have a look at one of these ones. This is a classified list. This isn't a Penguin's Progress. This is actually a Penguin catalogue. So just get this one out of its little sleeve here. Here we go. So this is the classified list for autumn 1952. So there's one loose bit here, Autumn Leaves. So this is just literally like a little booklet for autumn 52, which I guess goes with this one. Now this is interesting. So this has got the bookseller's stamp on, Roland Sewell in Plymouth, where I'm from. So this would have been one quite local. I remember it became Ham and Sewell, which was the stationers, no longer around anymore. Now this one's quite unusual. This is an American catalogue dated 1951. Paperback Bridge, 5th floor, Hutzler's in Baltimore, Maryland. And I can't for the life of me remember where this one came from, but this is this is a USA catalogue, and a lot of these would have been just English editions that have been exported over there. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Don't see many of those around. Then another one here, this is Spring 1952 classified list, and this one's got a little bit of paperwork inside as well. What's this? Penguin's Progress. Dear reader, hitherto in Penguin's Progress we have talked discursively about ourselves and this and that, and on this occasion we have decided to cut the talk and simply present ourselves for your inspection. We hope that this will help you to identify us to our various subject categories. Okay. If you wish to keep in touch more frequently, you may obtain our monthly list for an annual subscription of 2 shillings and 6pence. Ah, I see. And then there's a little card in here as well. Every time I drive past West Drayton on the way to Heathrow, I think of Penguin. The building sadly is no longer there. That's interesting. It's got some cloth advert for cloth bound editions in the back, the hardbacks. And once again, like I say, there's no actual editorial content in this particular issue. It is literally just a straight up catalogue, a classified list as it were. Ah, it's still nice all the same. I love this sort of stuff. Absolutely do. Let's have a look at another couple of Penguin's Progresses. So this is number 4 here. In fact, that one's sealed, but you get the idea. You know what these are all about now. And number 5. I haven't got number 6. One of these is in like tabloid format, which is quite difficult to get, and I keep missing out on it. So it's one of those things. I'll get one eventually, but it's like a fold out one. So consequently, it's the rare Penguin's Progress. Let's look at another classified list now. So this one is from 1955. Really, really nice jacket on this one with the penguins spilling out the back of the penguin van there. And these particular ones, I think because they're so quite nice to look at, these ones I see turn up time and time again. So when they do, if you spot one in a dealer's catalogue, they're never going to be a lot of money, like £5 or something like that. So you're not talking a fortune, but I think they're still a lot of fun. And they're so of their age, aren't they? They're so of the time. Here's the next one from 1956. I love it, all the penguins on the shelves like that. Brilliant stuff. And here's the one for 1957. This one once again has got a bookshop stamp on it, John Menzies and Co. on the High Street, Kirkcaldy. Always remember John Menzies as a newsagent that I got a load of Star Wars stuff out of in the late 80s. And I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, nice little, really colourful. It sort of screams of the 1950s, doesn't it? That sort of thing. Here's the one for 1959. Penguin with like the clapper board on his back. Oh, this is from James Thin Booksellers in Edinburgh. Don't think they're still around. As I said, it's really just a catalogue for the book dealers more than anything, or the booksellers rather. But I suppose if you were dead into penguins, you could use this as a bit of a guide. Like someone there's ticked a couple of books, as they tend to do. What's this then? Oh yeah, Penguin's Progress number 8. A special message for you. Now look at this. We feel sure you will appreciate that owing to the fact that Penguin's Progress goes to over 50,000 people, it's not possible for us to reply to individual letters. So, would you address complaints about addressing to us to the Vase Press? So some people have lost their copies in the post by the look of it. There's number 9 here, Penguin's Progress number 9. And so these all sort of follow a similar pattern inside, you know, sort of a little bit of editorial content. Here's number 10. This one's celebrating D.H. Lawrence in 10 volumes. Marjorie Allingham, more Penguin classics. Pelicans and Kings, important new ones. Oh yeah, now this was Penguin's little stand at the Sunday Times book fair. It's a little promotional stand there with some stuff on. Here's another Penguin's Progress, number 11. Really like that that version of the Penguin logo there, all done in like a italic style. I think we're running out of room here, so let me just pause there and pull the camera back a bit. Okay then, so this is Penguin's Progress number 12. And really, really nice. You see the Penguin exhibition there for 1950. This one actually came with a little catalogue inside here. That was with this one. Penguin Books order form for 1953. Absolutely love this sort of stuff. Looking at the books that were then new and books in stock. So those are the new books for May. And there was the book of the group of 5 P.G. Woodhouses there. One Puffin storybook, a couple of Pelicans, and the latest new biology. That's interesting. Look, the Penguin reading case, 3 shillings and 6. That's the little protector that I've done in a previous video. So you could just buy them direct. And then that was the order form. Grindley's Bookshop in Leigh-on-Sea. That's where this one was going to be returned to. And there we are. There's the rest of the list that was in print at that point. Brilliant, eh? I got to admit, I just love this sort of stuff. I really, really do. It's brilliant. And if you collect a publisher like that, the related ephemera that goes with it, I think is a huge, huge part of collecting. There's the Penguin's Progress book number 13. There's number 14 there. Very, very nice. And this is something a bit different. This is Penguin Music. So Penguin Scores, Pelicans on Music, and Penguin Songbooks. So it's just looking at Penguin publications that look at music. This one's lovely. This is the catalogue for King Penguin books. That series I absolutely love. That was published in 1950. Now, I do intend filming a video on the King Penguins. I'm missing just one. I'm only missing one, and then I've got the set, and then I'll do the video. I have been particularly fussy with trying to get first editions in really, really nice condition. So that's why I've yet to get the set. This is quite nice though. So it's got a little King Penguin bookmark. Very nice. Then a look at a little potted history of the King Penguin, started in 1938. And I believe, yeah, it's a little order form there, so you could order the King Penguins yourself. And also, wasn't there? Yeah, I believe this was like a specimen page, just to show you the quality of the colour illustrations inside the King Penguins, and absolutely amazing printing quality for their time and for how much they actually cost to buy. So that's a particularly good little catalogue, that the King Penguin one, and one that you want to keep your eyes peeled for. So it's got a breakdown of every single King Penguin that's been published up to that point. As I said, I'm just missing the one. Do you want to know which one it is? Number 6, British Shells, which appears on eBay and Abe. There's copies out there, but they're just too worn for me, so I'm waiting for a really nice one. and then I'm going to do the King Penguins over a couple of videos because I just love them. This was another one, came out as a special, D.H. Lawrence and appreciation. Obviously Penguin were heavily invested into D.H. Lawrence, and I have covered the Lady Chatterley affair in one of my main series Penguin videos, if you want to have a look a bit. But this is one that they brought out, and don't forget they published 10 D.H. Lawrence's all at once, and it was probably for that. If you bought the 10 in the bookshop, you probably got given that for free. Here's another little one. This is Penguins, a retrospective. Now I'm trying to remember when this dates from, because Penguin were very, very good at blowing their own trumpet with regards to little anniversaries and things. So let's see when this retrospective was published. 1935 to 1951. So there we are. Just another little miniature history of Penguin. They certainly do like celebrating their history, and I don't blame them, because there's few publishers around who have got such a exalted history and I can say they've had such an impact on society as Penguin. Here's the classified list for 1960. Once again, probably one of my favourites, and the reason being, we got the Penguin there and it's standing on a little pile of nice colourful books. Got the little logos there, the puffin, the pelicans, the penguin. It's great, isn't it? Really, really nice. And then that would be the spot where you put your bookseller's stamp if you were a bookseller. This is almost 100 pages, this one, broken down into different categories. No editorial content, it is just literally the list. Great stuff, really, really nice looking catalogue, that one. And just a couple more today for us to take a look at, and that's this one from 1962. So this one's quite nice. It's got the penguin, like a king penguin there, holding all the different imprints sort of in its belly there. This one was actually a catalogue that you could buy. It was 6pence. About 125 pages, very similar to the last one, listing all the different Penguin series up to that point. Then I have a bit of a jump, because around this time Penguin published something called Penguin Book News, which is like a sort of magazine size one, and I haven't got many of those, but when I get a few more to warrant a video, I'll show it. But I believe Penguin Book News sort of replaced the classified list for a little bit of time at least. But then the last one I've got here is this one from March 1969. So it's Penguin Books Author Title Author Index. And what this one is well, you can see, it's once again the penguins that were in print at that point. And this is pretty much up to the point where Alan Lane retired. And the series moved on into the bold 70s. So not, if you ask me, all the charm has gone out of that, and those whimsical catalogues of the 50s and earlier, that time has been and gone, and it's much more business-like. But even so, good stuff to look at. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed looking through my small collection of Penguin's Progress and vintage Penguin catalogues, and I think they're really nice, and they're certainly a really good sideline that I always keep my eyes peeled for when I'm picking up old books or looking through dealer catalogues. But as I said, I've had pretty bad luck trying to fill in some of the gaps that I am missing. I keep seeming to not win them, but hey, there you go. It always gives me something new to look for. If you have enjoyed today's video, do please give it the thumbs up. Do please consider subscribing if you've not already for regular vintage Penguin book content. And I'll look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye.